becoming and as governor of the great state of Wisconsin. And, we always say folks who are spouses of politicians, it's a busy life, it's different than your normal life. But let's just say that Tonette Walker and the Walker family have stood so strong for this governor in the past 4 years. We really learned what a special person Tonette Walker is and what a special family that they have. And I want us all to recognize it. Please welcome the First Lady.
Matt's been around all over the state with the College Republicans, and I'm so proud of both of them and the work that they're doing. We can't thank you for all that you do to support us, and especially we are very grateful for your prayers and for all that you've done these past few years. We couldn't have done it without God, without prayers, and so many friends and supporters, and thank you so much for that. I'm so proud of Scott and everything he does every single day. He works for the best of Wisconsin, and I know no one who fights harder every day for the people of this state. With less than 3 months until the election day, we'll need all of your help to make sure that Scott keeps Wisconsin on the right path for the next 4 years. Please join me in welcoming an amazing husband, a wonderful father, the only governor that's been elected twice in the same term, our governor, Scott Waukesha.
Thank you. 4 more years. That's what we're going to give them. 4 more years. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for your support. Thanks for knocking on doors. Thanks for making phone calls. Thanks for putting up signs. Most of all, thank you for your prayers for us and our family, not just this campaign, but for all the past few years. We appreciate that more than anything else. Thank you. Does anybody remember how bad things were 4 years ago? I mean, think about it. 4 years ago, Wisconsin was losing more than 133,000 jobs during Jim Bill's last term. Since then, we've added more than 100,000 jobs. 4 years. 4 years ago, Wisconsin was losing more than 27,000 businesses during Jim Bill's last term. Since then, we've added more than 23,000 new businesses. Wisconsin was ranked in the bottom 10 for business, 41st in the country. Since then, this year, Wisconsin has moved up to 14th best state in the country. And 4 years ago, it's hard to imagine that 4 years ago, Wisconsin doing a survey from our statewide employers found that just 10% of our employers thought this state was heading in the right direction. Today, that same survey shows that 96% of our employers believe Wisconsin's heading in the right direction. 4 years ago, property taxes were going up, and people were having a hard time living in their homes. Today, I'm proud to say that this December, property taxes in December of 2010 will not only be lower than they were last year, they'll be lower than they were 4 years ago. And if you elect me again as your governor, Rebecca Clayfish is our lieutenant governor, 4 years from now, property taxes will be even lower in that home. There's more. 4 years ago, we were inheriting a $3.6 billion budget deficit, but this year, we turned that deficit into a surplus. The rainy day fund in this state is now 165 times bigger than it was before. We're going to continue to be good stewards of your money, the taxpayers' money going forward. Remember 4 years ago, UW tuition was going up. I'm proud to say that for the first time in our history, for 2 years in a row, UW tuition is frozen, and 4 years from now, I want to continue to have UW tuition frozen. So more students are working families with Central District College. Over the past 4 years, we've seen high school graduation rates go up. We've seen third grade reading scores go up. We've seen ACT scores in the state be some of the best in the country. Today, Wisconsin is much, much, much better off than it was 4 years ago. And with your help, if we're reelected, Wisconsin will be even better 4 years from now. But I got to tell you, we got to warn our friends and neighbors, because as great as things are now and as much better as they can be 4 years from now, if you re-elect me and Rebecca Clayfish as your governor, lieutenant governor, we could go back to the way things once were. But we don't want to go back. We don't want to go back. We don't want to go back to the days of double-digit tax increases, $1 billion budget deficits, and big-time job loss. Remember, Jim Doyle handpicked Mary Burke to be a part of his cabinet, to be his chief job czar, to be his secretary of Congress, because he knew that she supported his policies entirely. That's not just what he said, that's what she said. We don't need a third term of Jim Doyle's failed policy. We want to move Wisconsin forward. If you give me the chance to serve for 4 more years as your governor, we'll continue to lower your property taxes. We'll continue to freeze tuition in our UW campuses. We'll continue to help the people, not the government, the people of the state create a better economy, to train more of our workers, to protect our seniors, to support our veterans, to move this state forward together. We're not going to go backwards to the failed policies of Jim Doyle and Mary Burke. We're going to move Wisconsin forward for everyone. I just want to end by telling you this. Thank you. Not just for being out here tonight. Thank you for all that you're doing, all that you've done, and all you'll do over the next 83 plus days to help us move this campaign, but more importantly, the state forward. You see, a little over 4 years ago, when Tonette and I sat down and prayed about getting this race for governor, at that time we did it because, simply put, we were afraid of where the state was headed. We were afraid of the possibility that our sons, Matt and Alex, might grow up in a state that wasn't as great as the Wisconsin we grew up in. And I don't know about all of you, but back then that was unacceptable to me. And so we were willing to put our life on the line to run in this race, to get out there and make the case, and then to sustain that, to make some tough decisions, but decisions that ultimately were good for all the people in the state going forward. Because ultimately we wanted to make sure our sons and others like them grew up in a great state. And I'm proud to say, some 4 years later, because of our reforms for Matt and Alex and all the other sons and daughters, grandsons and granddaughters like them, Wisconsin is not just as great, it is greater than it was when we grew up. And we're so happy small businesses and schools and clinics from one end of the state to the other. I was just in Superior the other day. I've been from Kenosha to Prairie du Chien to Hudson to Rhinelander and everywhere in between. I got to tell you, I meet a lot of people. And I met people that just like Tonette and I, maybe aren't running for office, but they go to work each and every day and they work hard. And I meet a lot of retirees who've done it for years before them. And more often than not, they're doing it for the same reasons we're in this race. They want their children. They want their sons and daughters to have a better future, a brighter future, a better life, a better opportunity. That's what this election is all about. Thank you on behalf of Matt and Alex and every other son and daughter, grandson and daughter, and those yet to be born. God bless you. God bless this great state. And God bless the Thank you for coming out.